Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl Kimray and you're watching Kimray Music TV. And if you are subscribed to my channel, you know that my weekly wrap up is late. Okay, it was supposed to be posted Friday, Saturday the latest. It was not posted and I just really don't like when I get off schedule. So I'm gonna do this week's weekly wrap up with no fancy backgrounds, no pictures, no edits, and maybe by this coming weekend it'll be more together, and if not this coming weekend, the next weekend. Y'all know I'm a teacher. We doing the virtual learning. My eyes started burning from staring at the screen for so many hours, so all my excuses I just gave them to you. Let's get into this weekly wrap up from last week. So unfortunately we did lose the Black Panther, and we talked about it in a separate video. Y'all, my hair was wrapped. It was very somber. And it's just hitting me more and more that we really did lose Chadwick Boseman, and just the impact alone is just still jarring for me. Okay, so prayers up to his family. Yeah. Okay, so Jacob Blake, this is a story out of, I believe it's Kenosha. I believe that's how you say it. Basically, you all know it's a tired tale at this point of police brutality, police targeting Black men. Jacob is this father who saw a fight between two women. From what I understand, he tried to break it up. In him breaking it up, you know, the cops were called. The cops automatically targeted him. He tried to leave, and in his getting in the car, this cop shoots him 7 times in his back. And I mean at close range. Okay, so a few things here. Jacob Blake did not pass away. From what I know, he is still alive and fighting for his life in surgery, and he is going to be paralyzed from the waist down. If you guys have seen the video, it's pretty graphic, so I will warn you, but in the video you see this cop shoot this man, I mean like this close to him. So it is a miracle that he's alive, but his children are traumatized from it. You know, family members traumatized. They're going to need counseling. I don't even know how you recover from something like that. The Black community is yet again, like, we all need counseling from this, right? Because this is yet another Black man who is targeted by police. And we're chanting and protesting and trying to go about change for yet another Black man. The only big significant thing here is that he is able to live and tell about it. I'm telling you, there's so many bad things about social media, but one of the great things is that information gets out there fast and we're all able to rally together, right? So that's happening. And I believe in the same town, I could be wrong, okay? But Kyle Rittenhouse, he's a 17-year-old kid who is a part of this like group that was helping the police like to get order, because with all of the protests and people out, you know, they got these volunteers, resident volunteers, to go around with their weapons and just try to police people, right? To me, that's already iffy, because you're gonna have vigilantes, you're gonna have people who want to do a little bit more, people who are just so happy to have just a little taste of power, and that's what seemingly happened with Kyle Rittenhouse, right? So apparently, from what I'm reading and the clips that I'm seeing, he was pretty calm. He was able to, like, you know, keep everyone under control or whatever, but he's a 17-year-old kid with this rifle or some AR-15, some type of fancy gun that he don't need to have, right? He kills 2 people, injures others, and it's like, you could have just not empowered this kid. The craziest part is that when people are telling the cops like, this man just shot and killed 2 people, the cops just let him walk by them with this long rifle like hanging across his body. Okay, so the symbolism here and the imagery here of seeing a Black man walking away from the cops, unarmed, seemingly unarmed, okay, who is just trying to be a good citizen and break up a fight, and now being targeted and making it seem like, oh, you must be a part of this, you must be up to no good, versus this young white kid who literally has this lethal weapon and just walks right past you. It's stuff like that, right? So we're frustrated, we're hurt, we're confused. Us teachers and parents who have to raise children and all this, what do you tell them, right? Because it's just too much. It's too much, okay? This leads me to the NBA boycotts, okay? So for a little bit, I believe they're back to playing now, but the NBA and the WNBA had decided to boycott because it's like, listen, we need y'all to understand, because you know they have the jerseys on where it says like I can't breathe on the back, and then all their last names are on the bottom, but they have different statements that are either what, you know, Black Lives Matter, or I can't breathe, or say her name, or say his name, like these little statements that help you know what NBA and WNBA is standing for, right? So, you had a couple players who decided to speak out about it. They felt differently. Draymond Green. Now, I don't really want to get into the specifics of what he said, but from my understanding, it's like if you don't fully understand the movement, you just want them to shut up and play basketball, then you're part of the problem, right? LeBron was saying, you know, it's not just us sitting down a couple of games. This is a movement, this is a boycott, this is something that we truly believe and we stand behind. The whole thing about it is this. These people, you know, these people that are owners and all these people tied up in the NBA that are seemingly racist, they don't mind Black people when they're making them money. When you're dancing for me, you're playing for me, you're playing basketball for me, you're playing football for me, you're playing baseball for me, you're singing for me, you're dancing for me. I don't mind you when you're making me money, right? But as soon as you start getting, you have a voice, oh, you have thoughts, oh, you have feelings about this, yeah, we don't really need your services here. And the thing about the NBA is they run a lot of stuff. Okay, they're very powerful. Like the NBA, NFL, MLB, like celebrity or famous professional athletes, they hold a lot of weight. So if you see a LeBron James saying like, no, something needs to be done, arrest the killers that killed Breonna Taylor. You see somebody like that saying that, there's lots of influence, things stop, people start to listen, and they know that. And so they are following suit. Now, I can say that different things are being done. It's more than just looks. It's more than, you know, people just seeing, oh, they have this on their shirt. Like, you can see corporations, you can see, even within my own circles, like people who are just finally adjusting their ideology and how they feel and think about systemic racism and racism where that exists that they didn't even think about before. They're actually starting to notice it. So cool. But like the bottom line of just like arresting the cops who killed Breonna Taylor, or just like not targeting Black people, not targeting people of color, really investing in the training to where a cop can figure out or I don't even know the word, figure out or investigate cases or figure out who the suspect is based on more than, oh, he's sagging and he's wearing a do-rag and he's a Black man. Because unfortunately, I've heard of this training and you associate all these things with bad, and sometimes it's just not that. Okay, so they need to do a little bit better. All right, Masika Kalisha, y'all know Masika Kalisha from Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. She keeps getting into it with Hazel E. I see she used to get into it with her back in the day, but I see she just recently got into it with her again. So it's kind of making me wonder, are they filming Love and Hip Hop Hollywood? It's not far-fetched because Love and Hip Hop just been gone. Like, everything is coming back and Love and Hip Hop just been gone. And I seen Real Housewives was filming, and that's why I'm like, are y'all gonna come back? I don't know. I need them to come back because I'm actually kind of worried. Like, are the cast members able to pay their bills? Because Love and Hip Hop ran all year. Okay, anyway, but Masika, she did this, she posted on her Instagram, and she was like in underwear, bra and underwear, had bruises all over her. She's like sobbing, like broken voiced, saying like, I need you guys to help me. I need you to go to my OnlyFans and sign up for like $100 a month or something. And that's the only way that they'll help me and all this, blah, blah, blah. So it looks so real that people was like real life concerned, right? So when I heard her say OnlyFans, I was like, oh, this is just a ploy, to try to get us to go to her OnlyFans. I'm not with all that. I mean, maybe it would have got y'all, but I'm just thinking like seeing her beat and bruised up. Aren't most people on OnlyFans like for something else? Like, are you really going there out of concern for people? I don't know. Anyway, so that gets posted. She gets dragged. She comes back like right after and she says like, sorry to scare y'all, but I'm on set and I'm like advocating for the Rose Company. I believe it's the Rose Company. Okay, the Rose Company is this company that helps women and children and I believe men who are being sex trafficked, this prestigious business organization that's been helping. And there's this person over it named Tony, right? And so, Masika's saying all this, she's helping them out. This is a part of helping the Rose Company. All proceeds from the OnlyFans will go to them. And, I'm on set. She got the producer knocking on the door. And so everybody's like, okay, this is a weird little ploy, but I guess this is for a good cause. I'm with it, right? Well, Tony comes out, which is the owner of the Rose Company. And she's like, I don't know what Masika's doing. I did not authorize none of this. Like, it seemed like she was saying, yeah, she's working on a project with us, but we didn't authorize none of this. So it was like a whole back and forth. Like, I'm just like, if this is really, like Masika posts the letter with like a letterhead for the company. Tony's like, I don't notice, I don't recognize this letterhead at all. This is not from us. Like, it's a whole back and forth ordeal, right? And so what ended up happening is they apologized. They realized they're on the same side. They're fighting for the same thing. While their methods are like vast and varying, they realize that they're on the same side. So they squashed it. But I'm gonna need Masika to know, to be, read the room. Like we be saying, read the room. Like you got to understand that was not it, sis. All right. Okay, Joe Budden, y'all know he has that podcast. It's on the tip of my tongue, can't think of it. Anyway, he has a podcast and it's on Spotify. And I guess he put it out there that he's not getting his due diligence on Spotify. He wants to change platforms. Now, from my understanding, if you post, now my podcast wasn't huge or nothing, but if you post your podcast on like Anchor, it goes to Google Play, it goes to SoundCloud, it goes to Spotify, it goes to the Apple Podcast app. So I'm just wondering like where else you gonna go, and won't we still be able to get it on Spotify? Is it just that, I don't know, like the read, they might be like fully funded by Spotify like as their main hub. I don't really know, but Joe Budden, he wasn't feeling it. He actually, speaking of the read, he got into it with Crystal. And it's just like a whole thing. Like, I don't understand why he put that out there, but I mean, I guess it's rich people problems. Hopefully he's still able to hold on to his podcast, still keep his same listeners. But places like Spotify, SoundCloud, those are platforms that anyone can listen to. You don't have to be Android or Apple. Anybody can get that app. So I just wonder what he gonna do, how he gonna make it work. Okay, so Claudia Jordan and Medina Islam. Medina Islam is Phaedra's current boyfriend on Marriage Boot Camp. Every time I see clips of Marriage Boot Camp, he seems to be the level-headed one. It seems to be Phaedra that's causing all the rigmarole and the problems. So when I heard about this, I was just like, wait, are we talking about the same person? What I've learned as an adult is who a person is with one person, they may not be the same way with another person, right? So Medina very well, actually, let me get the story out. Claudia basically came out saying that he was abusive. They had domestic abuse going on. It was, a toxic relationship, just like going in on this dude. And she did this on her little talk show, on her talk show on, is it Foxhole? She has a talk show, but she's basically talking about it. Now, I don't know what made her bring it up. Maybe it's because he's on TV with Phaedra. I don't know, but she brought it up. And, you know, she's just sharing about her abusive past with Medina, right? And so in the past, you know, when a woman says a man has done something, usually people just automatically believe. If it's sexual assault, sexual harassment, anything, people be like, oh, he did it, especially if it's a white woman, child. But in this case, Medina came out, he was like, nope, didn't do that, she did this, she did that, it was this, it was all that. And it was just kind of like, I feel like I don't want to invalidate Claudia Jordan's story, because she very well could have been in a domestic abusive type of relationship. But sometimes, you know, people, I'm not even going to say women or Claudia, because I don't know Claudia and I don't know all women. But sometimes people will come out and be like, yeah, this happened to me, this person did this to me, and they don't mention their part at all. Okay, so if she put hands on him, she's just as wrong. She's a lot smaller than him, seemingly. So if her blows, if what he did to her, you know, there were marks and all these things, then it's kind of like whose hurt was worse type of thing, instead of just realizing you both had equal parts in this. Now, I could be dead wrong, and he could have very well just put his beat up on her and put hands on her, and she didn't warrant any of this, and there was no reason. It could have been that, but from what he said, I feel like it's a little bit of him and a little bit of her, and then the truth. Okay, so y'all let me know what y'all think. Do y'all think Claudia Jordan's telling the full truth? Do you feel like she's just like, this man put hands on me, it don't matter what I did, it don't matter what I said, it's not okay? Okay, because I'm in the school of thought that you can't keep antagonizing a man and saying hit me, hit me, hit me, or standing in his face, or taking his things, or throwing his thing. I'm not saying she did any of this, but you can't be doing all that and then be shocked when he put hands on you. I'm just, that's just human. What am I trying to think of? That's just human, child. That's just how folks act, okay? I can't think of my word. I know y'all know what I'm trying to say. All right, Waka Flocka, Meg, and this Cash, I think he's some rapper named Cash something. Cash Out, Cash-ish, something. Okay, so he posts this picture. He has Waka Flocka's line on, his clothing line on. He has on one of his shirts, right? And then the caption is just like, these females, you know how these basic men be talking about. These females be saying all this about men or whatever. You know, Meg is 6 foot. Tori, what, 4 feet tall? You not gonna tell me, blah, 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 woo, 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 mush mouth, ignorant, toxic masculinity type of rhetoric, right? And so Waka Flocka puts the hundreds up under his post. And so, of course, we all like, okay, what you saying, dude? Are you saying that you agree with what he said? You must be saying that because nothing else is happening in this picture, right? So, Meg like comments like, I expect this from him because he only made it to the 9th grade. Everybody's like needing clarification, like, are you talking about Waka? Because Waka did not finish high school from what I understand. So then his wife, Tammy Rivera, comes out, right? The thing about Tammy Rivera, hold on, y'all. The thing about Tammy Rivera is I love me some Tammy, right? But she always saying stuff that I just be like, if you could just not. Like, I feel like she says stuff that it never makes it better. It just never makes it better. And I love their whole family dynamic. I love her daughter, her and her daughter's relationship, you know, even though I don't know these people at all, but I'm just saying love, like, you know, I love it. But yeah, so when she comes out and she does this whole paragraph about how her husband Waka was rooting for Meg, and he said how it was wrong what Tory Lanez did, and she can't believe that Meg came out and said all this about her man, and he this and he that, and then Meg had to say, I wasn't talking about Waka. So then she's like, okay, my bad, girl, all good. Like, too much. It's too much. Like, come on. Ask for clarification before you go fully in like that, right? So, yeah, so Waka, you know, comes out and says, or she clears it up. Meg goes back and comments, I wasn't talking about Waka, right? So that gets cleared up. All right. So speaking of Meg, I want to talk about the male rappers who just refuse to come out like and protect her. It's so funny how loud these men were when WAP came out, and how loud a lot of these men are in these comments. The shade room comments, they're just horrid, y'all. I be really feeling like, okay, black people are really evolving. We coming a long way, and then I be looking at them comments like, oh, we still got a percentage of our population that just not getting it. Okay. So when Michael B. Jordan came out and Chance the Rapper came out and Houston's own Budden came out to speak up for Meg, I was just like, okay, it's about time, because while we don't need your protection, it just would be nice, because the same, like, you pull us down. A lot of times our own men pull us down while we protect y'all and boost y'all up. So the very least that y'all could do is give us the same protection that we give you. And if you're gonna be so vocal about a woman expressing her sexuality, be the same type of vocal when other people are putting her down or hurting her or shooting her while she's walking away. Okay? All right. The Brandy and Monica verses, I'll talk about that in this week's weekly wrap up. Pastor John Gray, cheating allegations again, honey. Hopefully we have some more developments by the end of this week, but it is looking like there is video of Pastor Gray cheating once again. Y'all know that he cheated before on his wife, and he bought her this like Maserati truck, a Lambo truck or something, and everybody was so amazed. And I was just like, this is my vendetta. This is my whole thing. People in the church, they put the pastor right up there with God, okay? And so when they do that, the pastor might start to feel that way. A little invincible, a little untouchable, a little royal, a little like regal, right? I think it's fine when you have just enough humility and confidence. Like, if you're confident in what you do, cool, but you're humble enough that you don't feel like you go without sin. Some of these preachers feel like they go without sin. Okay, now I don't know Pastor John Gray personally. When I first heard of him, I was like, oh, he brings the realness that I need. He gets it, right? But it's just certain stuff that he says about women, it just don't be sitting with me right. Okay, so when I heard about him cheating the first time, I was just like, yeah, I'm not really surprised, because that rhetoric was just like, but you could really just not talk about women like that. You could just really just not. And he was. Now, it's not that he said anything specifically, it's just like kind of his mannerisms when it comes to women. When he preaches, he does have like this real blunt type of delivery, but he'll say stuff like, yeah, my wife be looking good for me and she cooks for me, and I can't remember the specific things that he was saying, but it was just like, anyone that thinks like that is just like, okay, does your wife not offer you anything else? I think it was when he was talking about how he was just like basically trash until he got with his wife. Like, he was a kid until he got with his wife. And I was just like, we don't want to admit that, sir. We don't want to do that. Because that's the problem that us black women be talking about. We got to get with our man. We got to groom and mature and like lift up. And yeah, like we can be your backbone. Yes, your rib, as we say. But I mean, let's not just play around and run around because we know our wife gonna be there. Like, I'm going off into a tangent, but Pastor John Gray, we gonna watch the story. Anyway, I'm sorry the weekly wrap-up was not on our regular background. Didn't have the fun and fancy clips, but I got y'all the news, didn't I? Anyway, I'm Kim Ray. This is Kim Ray Music TV. I'll see you guys next time.